Hey everyone, and welcome to the third session zero for the upcoming versus role playing game Actual Play. This week I am joined by my old friend Katie Major, and we're going to be making her character for the campaign. Katie, is there anything you want to tell the people at home about yourself, or you want to be veiled in mystery? And
I do enjoy a good mystery, but I'm an oversharer, so
you can't help it; it's
I'm
compulsive.
Katie. I've known you since college. I feel like I already know how to play this game because it's the first role playing game you nerds sucked me into. So I'm excited to do this whole series.
Nice. Well, I'm glad to have you here. Um, we're gonna be making your character, and I normally start these videos with a discussion of their like high concept. Do you have a kind of general idea of the type of character that you want to be making, or um, anything like that?
Yes, I do. I was thinking about doing some kind of like well-intentioned like humanitarian who like came to this land to like help out with their medical needs and like a scholar. Yeah.
Very cool. That's very cool. So you're it's very refreshing in a game with a lot of moral gray area to find someone who truly is that lawful force for good.
Yes.
So I think that would be a lot of fun. Not what I've seen you play in the past, but that's half the fun of role
I
playing is trying something new.
know.
Yeah.
We've come a long way from my stripper character days. Now
Yeah,
I'm a
a lot of
God-fearing woman.
exactly a lot of manipulative, guile-based
Ah,
spies and espionage. So it'll be fun to
I'm a good little
get.
noodle.
Exactly. That's a working title. Good little noodle.
Good little noodle.
15 points. Okay, sweet. So with that in mind, if you're going to be a scholar, if you're going to be practicing medicine, you're probably going to want some intelligence to back that up. Do it well. If you want to do good, I recommend being a good surgeon, not not a just a malpractice lawsuit,
I'm
like
just a
walking from
Sweeney
town to
Todd
town.
out here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's a barber,
So
but that's
I got where you're going. I got where you're
yeah.
going. So as far as attributes go, what are you feeling?
Definitely want to hit that. I mean, intelligence, I want to be the highest. The agility and strength, I'm not really worried about. Yeah, self explanatory. So I think I can put a lot in intelligence and guile, just because, we're in the Badlands. I need
Hmm.
some
Your wits are
people
about you.
skills. Yeah.
Hmm. So are you imagining this character as like a aged, wise scholar, or kind of like a bushy-tailed fresh graduate who's going out into the field to prove themselves?
Definitely bushy tailed. I'm thinking like spoiled rich kid who thinks she's going to go out there and do some good.
That's cool. That's awesome. So yeah,
Has
you
never
you
seen the ways of the world.
yeah, doesn't know how ugly war can get.
Yeah.
Just yeah, means you can solve every problem with a suture needle.
Yep.
Um, very cool. I like that. So yeah, if you're going to be young and spry, you don't need to drop your agility or strength down to a D4 if you're going to be this like very like aged academic. So you can just leave those where they are if you'd like, and
Yeah.
uh, increase the other ones where you're thinking D8, D10. Uh, Remember, nothing is set in stone, so you can just slot something in and we can circle back around once we have a good idea of what your point total is looking like.
Yeah. I like I like the if I could do intelligence at D10. I mean, I can do whatever I want. I got 15 points, but
You can. You can. You're the
but
master of your own fate.
well, you are if you think of it. Yeah, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling 10 for now. Oh,
Awesome.
yeah. Yes.
Fantastic. And for Guile,
Yeah, I'll bump that up a dice.
cool. So you have 9 points there. And then in skills, you're obviously going to want medicine. So in this
Yeah.
setting, in this setting, it's like a medieval setting where chemistry and medicine are kind of tied together into this one sort of like pseudoscience called alchemy. So you don't need like a first aid skill and alchemy skill. Just by practicing medicine at all, you will have like you'll just have picked up how to also treat people's wounds. So you just to practice medicine and do all that good stuff, you just need the alchemy skill.
Okay.
And with a D10 in intelligence, you can have a 1 through 4. You can have a plus 1 through a plus 4 in that.
Let's mm, let's put a 4 for now, and then I'll see. I'm gonna build on it because that's my whole like basis. So I'm like, I want to be useful in that before
A,
I take a leech's skill.
yes, yeah. Yeah, it's a secondary skill, leech handling.
Leech.
Um, awesome. That's good. D10 plus 4 is going to be able to save people's lives on the battlefield and cook up some pretty scary potions behind the scenes. So that'll get you far. Any other skills that you were considering?
So I think I'm gonna lock in on perception and persuasion.
Sounds good.
I think
Yeah.
persuasion second, and then perception. And I don't know if I want to do one in each of those, or if I want to smack dab that alchemy down to a 3, and just do like some 3, 2, 1 satisfying stuff.
Right. I think let's jump over to traits next and see how many skill points you have to work with, and
Okay.
then we can circle back and give you more or less based on what we find there.
Okay.
So I'm just going to put 1 in each of these just as a placeholder
Okay.
to remind us that we need to put at least some points there.
Yeah.
Awesome. So now that we have a good idea of what your attributes and skills look like, we can move on to your traits. You mentioned in your high concept that you were fairly well off, and so is there a wealth and resources trait that you were thinking about taking?
Yes, I think I was thinking about taking benefactor.
Awesome. So you have access to a large amount of money, but it comes through someone that you know. It's not personally yours.
Yeah, it comes from my parents.
Very cool.
Hmm.
So benefactor is a 2-point trait. Um, any other traits that you were considering?
I was thinking, because it ties into that wealth that I have inherited, was having a workshop. So I'd have a place where I would like get a bonus for doing my doctor stuff.
Nice. I like that. It's good to have a place to practice, so you're not just amputating people on the street corner.
Who knows?
A wor- well, if you have to, but awesome. So yeah, workshop is an additional wealth and resources trait that gives you a property that you own, and it gives you a +2 bonus to alchemy, which goes on top of your skill whenever you're doing alchemy there. And so that's going to be a laboratory for brewing potions and a medical facility for doing medicine as well. All of that is under the alchemy skill. So you're going to be rolling a whopping D10 plus 6 while you're there, which is pretty awesome.
Hot damn.
Yeah, not too shabby. Not
No.
too shabby.
So for my next skill, I was thinking we talked a little bit about like the school I went to and learned the alchemy, the herborium, and
Yeah, in Oldgate.
yeah. So how does that work? Like we talked about like the people who they don't really like graduate there. They just like keep learning about herbs to learn about herbs. So I was thinking like the way that I got out of it was thinking like I want like not that I'm better than them, but that I want to be putting this into practice and not just be learning for the sake of learning. But there's people out there who need me. Um,
And need what you learn, and you want to, yeah, exactly, put it into
yeah.
practice like you said.
And they probably don't like that.
Yeah, so in another region different from the one where the game is going to start, there's a basically the premier alchemy school
Mm-hmm.
called the Herborium, and it's definitely a research institute. They're just there to unlock the mysteries of all the plants and animals on Earth, and with your ideals, I think it makes perfect sense for you to want to take what you've learned and do good with it, not just teach more people what you've learned or do experiments in some tower, so many miles away. So yeah, you could definitely have left that institution, maybe not in the best of terms, and that would just be a -1 reputation. Where if you ever run into someone who is still in that circle, they'll be like, "Oh, it's this person who thinks they're too good for our experiments and our research." and it just will basically put you on a negative footing socially whenever you interact with another proctor, which is the title of people who have graduated from this institution.
Yeah, perfect. Snobs. I'm out here doing the real work.
I love it. I love it. Um, Besmirched. Yeah, so you would be a proctor, whatever your name is going to be.
Okay.
Since you graduated from that institution, you have such a good alchemy. People like even outside of the region, everyone in the world knows the reputation of the proctors and what they're capable of with alchemy. And yeah, it's
Cool.
best in the world.
Cool.
Sweet. And that does recoup you a point, which will pay for your workshop, which is nice.
Cancels out.
Yeah, exactly. Any other traits that you were considering?
I think that's it.
Awesome. So we can just jump into the other information about your character, your secondary skills, and your inventory and that sort of stuff, and just wrap this up.
Yeah.
Your location. Where were you thinking of being from? You said that you attended the Herborium, which is an old gate, and the origin trait from being from Oldgate is a +1 alchemy because that city is just kind of imbued with that science. Like everyone knows their mother's remedies, even if they didn't attend the herborium like you did.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good option.
Yeah. I think 100% that makes the most sense.
Awesome.
You talked me into it.
I mean, it's literally a perfect
No,
match. I think.
it fits the lore. It fits.
Sweet. So we can make your location knowledge Oldgate. So you'll get a +3 whenever you're trying to know something from there. And then Oldgate gives being from Oldgate gives you two things. It gives you an additional alchemy skill,
Yeah.
which you actually can't have because you're at your mastery limit. But
Okay.
it effectively refunds you a point. So you
Okay.
will have this alchemy +4, but you only have to pay for 3 of them. If that makes
Heck
sense.
yeah.
It's a little discount. And then also, you're just going to have arcane knowledge. So magic is kind of taboo, sometimes even illegal in other places in the world, not in Oldgate.
Okay.
Everyone is welcome there, and wizards are offered sanctuary if they're being persecuted from other nations. So everyone who just grows up there just has a better. They're just better educated about how magic works because they're just around it more.
Yeah, we're open
Um,
minded about it.
yeah, absolutely.
So
Um,
what other like customs and stuff do I need to be aware of from Mulgate?
right. That's an excellent question. Oldgate is a theocracy,
Okay.
and almost everyone there practices a religion called the All Way, which
Okay.
teaches you to live in harmony with your fellow humans as well as nature. So almost no one. It's very taboo to eat meat or even like cut down a tree. The only like woodworking they practice is of trees that have naturally fallen over. Um,
Okay.
so if you want to take on that belief system, it is a -1 trait because you can't eat meat. Like some travel rations and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
You can't hunt, all of that.
Yeah.
Um,
I love that. I think I'll know like what herbs and stuff I can eat. So plants. I think
yeah,
it's cool.
exactly, exactly. Um, yeah, you don't need to hunt when you can find food in basically any
Foraging.
environment. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Super. So that is a -1 trait. So you are at 17 points, but remember one of these alchemy skills. I'm just gonna bump that down to a 3, just so it's easier for us to do the math. So you are still 1 point over. With yeah, because from Olgate will give you that fourth alchemy. You don't have to pay for it, but even with that being a 3, you're still at 16 points. Do you want to drop one of your skills or take on another negative trait?
I think I'm gonna take on another negative because looking at it, I really like the idea of just being this like hippie vegan who doesn't fight. So I think I'm gonna be a pacifist. Like I'm literally just Peace
Cool.
Corps. I'm just there to help people, not to pick a side.
I
Like,
like, yeah, it is very much, yeah, like Peace Corps, like traveling to a foreign nation to help out, provide medical aid, and not pick sides,
yeah.
not take a stance or draw a weapon. So, um, that's really cool. I like how the characters coming together, and that's a -2 trait.
Ooh.
Um, Pacifist, you can't take any action, direct or indirect, that would cause harm to others. So it's pretty harsh. Um,
I mean,
but if
I don't have like the fighting skills anyway to do it. So like, if anything,
yeah,
that's just free points for me.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're not gonna want to be in a fight, and you can still defend yourself in extreme situations, right?
Yeah,
It's just violence has to be the absolute last resort.
yeah, for my
Uh,
life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So awesome. So that bumps you down to 14. Do you want to put another skill point into either persuasion or perception?
Yeah, actually, let's bump that persuasion up to a 2.
Nice. Boom. 15 points.
Yeah.
I love it. Um, really came together. I like how incorporated your origin is. I like how your family ties in. I can definitely get a sense of the events in your past that have led you to now be in Bruga doing what you're doing, and helping a war savaged area, which is
Yeah.
really perfect.
I'm
Makes good sense.
excited about it. I live to help the savages. I speak I speak for the tree.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
These poor people eating meat and killing each other.
couldn't be me.
Yeah. Cool. So you get 200 silver of starting goods.
Okay.
I would recommend that you take at least one or two medical kits,
Yes.
which are basically just gauze and sutures, the things that you need to practice field medicine. Um, I think they're maybe to 20 silver a piece. So you could start with two of those.
Yeah.
Or how many would you like to start with?
I mean, I feel like I need a hefty amount because that's my whole shtick. Can I do?
Yeah.
I'm thinking like 4.
Okay. Four medical kits. Nice. And you won't need to use these while you're at your workshop, but
Okay.
if you're out in the field, you absolutely will. So you should have, after four medical kits, which is 80 silver, you should have 120 left. But because you have the benefactor trait, I think you actually get like up to 1,000 silver in starting goods that you can't sell because they're not yours, um, but you don't have to pay for them. So you can start with the full 200 silver of starting goods and in liquid wealth, and then anything else that you need is just going to be provided. If you need a horse or any other forms of like protection or convenience, those are going to be taken care of by your benefactor.
Cool.
Awesome. With inventory taken care of, we can jump over your information and fill that out really quickly. How old were you imagining your character?
Like 23, still wide-eyed, whole life ahead of me.
Nice, fresh out of your education and
Yeah.
ready to take on the real world. Awesome. And what's a good adjective to describe your character?
I'm like an idealistic physician.
Nice. I love that. I love that. Yeah. So you still idealistic. I think I spelled that right. Physician. That's great. Yeah, you're going into this with the best of intentions and with the very hopeful about how it will all play out,
Yes.
which is sweet. Well, super. We can finish filling out your information anytime before the game begins. Do you have a name for your character that you were considering?
Yes. I fell in love with the name Celeste.
Celeste.
Yes.
I like
I'm
that. Very
celestial.
Celeste. So, and since you do have that honorific, you're gonna be Proctor Celeste.
Proctor.
Everyone will know the prestige of your education.
And that I ditched
Yeah,
a
they might
Proctor
find that out after they.
Celeste
Yeah, this. Uh,
harlot.
cool, awesome. Well, thank you so much for making this character with me.
Yeah,
Really excited to see it come off the page and into the game, and yeah,
I'm
I'm happy
excited.
how it turned out. Yeah,
Thanks for all your
sweet.
help.
And yeah, it's like I can't help but help. Sweet. Well, I hope you have a good rest of your night, and I and everyone at home will see you when we finally get to play our first session.
Yay!
Woo!